Hello and welcome back to Okta Support video series. Today we will show how to set up an authentication policy for the Okta Identity Engine. The option can be found in the Security Authentication Policies, where you have the option to add a policy. First, we will need to set the policy name. When a policy is created, a catch-all rule is automatically generated that requires any two factors to authenticate. The Add Rule option will allow us to create a new rule for that policy. First, we must set the rule's name. When setting up a rule, we can specify who does apply to. If the user is any specific type or exclude a user type, user's group membership, or not part of a group, we can specify the user or exclude a user from this rule. The device status, if it's registered or not. Registered devices can be managed or not managed. The device platform, the user's IP, if it's part of a network zone or any of them or not part of a network zone or any of them. The risk level of the request. We can also create a custom that the authentication request must fulfill for that rule to apply to the user. Please note that all the conditions are AND conditions and all of them must be fulfilled for the user to be challenged by that rule. After defining the condition, we will need to specify if the rule is a deny or allow rule. When setting an allow rules, we must specify how the user must authenticate. With a password or identity provider, possession factor, any one factor, password with another factor, or any two factors. The rule that requires two factors will also have the option to set up possession factor constraints, such as hardware protection and phishing resistant. After that, we will need to specify when logging in with Okta, verify whether the user will be prompted for authentication or if no prompt is required. Please note that the Your Organization authenticators that satisfy this requirement's display will show all the authenticators that are set up for your organization, but the user will only be allowed to use only the authenticators the enrollment policy will allow him to use. After that, we can select how often the user must re-authenticate when accessing that application, at every login, once per session, or at a set time interval. The authentication rules are being evaluated based on their priority level, and the first rule that applies to that user will be triggered. After the rule is created, we can add an application to that rule. Please note that even if multiple applications are assigned to one policy, the policy rule will be triggered individually for every application. With the org-to-org application added to that policy, let's make the first rule that will apply to everyone. Specify that the user must authenticate with a possession factor, such as Google Authenticator, Okta Verify, or WebAuthn. Please check the Authenticators menu to see what factors are possession factors and their characteristics. If you wish to add any possession factors, constraints to that rule. With the rule set, we will test the login to the org-to-org application that will allow us to access that application with only Okta Verify. Thank you for watching. For more Okta support videos, check out the Okta support playlist right here on the Okta YouTube channel.